You remember that old credit card company line, don't leave home without it? Well, if you're a bow hunter, this is one piece of equipment you do not want to leave home without. The first thing that I do when I climb up into my tree stand or crawl into a ground blind is range my surroundings. But what about those times when a deer comes in at a weird angle that you don't expect? And what about when you're spot and stock hunting? You jump a deer, you need to know the exact range that you're going to make the shot. And a lot of times you just don't have time to get to your rangefinder. You've heard of the old saying, rule of thumb, and I bet you thought it never applied to bow hunting. But even an old dog can learn new tricks. Now what you want to do is use your thumb, or more precisely your thumbnail, to estimate distance. Now it sounds crazy, but it works. Now what I do is I stick my thumb out at arm's length pointed at the target. Now a deer is about 36 inches from the ground to the top of its back. And through practice and experimentation, I've learned that if I'm standing at 30 yards, my thumbnail will cover that distance from the deer's hoofs to the top of his back. Okay, we've moved up on the target and I'm going to use the same rule of thumb. Okay, now the bottom of my thumbnail is resting on the ground. The top of my thumbnail's hitting the deer about halfway between the ground and the top of his back. So do the math, half of 30, I'm guessing we're standing at 15 yards. Let's check it out. 15.5, that's good enough for me. Okay, let's move back and see how it works. Okay, I've moved way back again now, and we're gonna try to estimate this range using my thumb again. The bottom of my thumbnail is on the ground, and the top of my thumbnail is about even with the top of the deer's rack. So my guesstimation at this distance is that we're about half of that 30 high now, and we're probably at 45 yards now. Okay, we're spot on this time, 45 yards. Now most of the time I'm gonna be off a yard or two, but at least it's gonna put me in the ballpark. And like I said earlier, don't leave home without this. But if you do, or if you can't get to it, always remember your rule of thumb.